Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Thursday. This week has totally flown by. I cannot believe it's already Thursday, but you guys have been working on some awesome designs this week, so I am excited for our second to last challenge of the week. So good morning to everyone in the chat. Got lots of you guys in there. We've got Arbors, Studio, Nicholas, Tim, Topaz, Jack, Justin, Rosie, Richard. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, wherever you are. Cornelian. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. So let's go ahead and hop on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. And this is where you can find all of your daily prompts for the challenge. So how does it work? Each day, you'll receive a challenge. Be sure to join our community chat in Discord. We've got about 28,000 of you guys active and chatting and sharing your work over there. And be sure to watch our daily live show right here every day at 11:30 Pacific time. And ask me questions in the chat. I'll try to look over there more today. I feel like I forgot about the chat yesterday. I won't forget about you guys today. And lastly, be sure to share your work on Discord and Behance with that keyword XD Daily Challenge so I can give you feedback. Richard said it's afternoon for me in NYC. Yeah, 1:30 here in St. Louis. Aloha from John. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll on down and see what our challenge is today. So on Tuesday, we worked on components for a perfume website, choosing different scents and such. Yesterday, we worked on a furniture store, and we are creating their digital instruction manual. Today, what we're going to work on is design a web experience that generates personalized messages. So I figured this time of year or around December, you might be writing a bunch of thank you notes, and that can get pretty tedious. And wouldn't it be nice if we just had a website that you could boom, pop in who you're writing to, what type of tone you want, and it'll do the whole message for you. So that'd be nice. So that's what we're going to create, and we're going to focus on the drop-down menus using component states. So I'll show you how to do that. I know some of you guys had some questions yesterday in Discord, and you were asking me, so I'll explain the one thing that some people were confused about when we get into the starter file. So if you would like to download that starter file, go ahead and hit that link, go over to Dropbox, and we've got the direct download right there. And that will give you this starter file, this XD starter file. I'll get into that in just a sec, but I want to hop on over to Discord and see what you guys are working on over here. I'll share some of the work that you guys have been doing at the end of the stream if we have time, but just to highlight a few of the main channels. We've got the Creative Challenge prompts in the Creative Challenge channel, and the feedback channels are kind of the main channels in our XD Discord. So current challenge, if you'd like to post your work. Lots of people have been posting their prototypes and, just screenshots. Or if you have an MP4 of your work clicking through, you can do that as well. So that's a bit about Discord. Feel free to join and just play around, see what we got going on. All right, let's open our starter file and make this full screen. There we go. All right, everyone's saying hello, hey there, epic in the chat. Okay, so I'm excited about this one. Thursday, like I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on creating a website for personalized messages, and we're going to be focusing on a Dropdown. And we will only be using one artboard for each Dropdown, which is awesome because previously you would have had to use a bunch of different artboards. So I'll show you how to do that with component states. And below here, I've got some inspo, just some card and messaging sort of apps. Think like Hallmark cards, that sort of thing. You can show, a drop down of different suggested messages depending on who the card is to. You can show like templates of what the design of the actual card would look like. You can show this idea of just like what the occasion is. So if it's birthday, thank you, congratulations, let people choose that in a drop down. And this, I just liked the visuals of like each occasion. So like birthday, it looks kind of festive, and the holiday maybe a little more, you know, decorative. Yeah, so I thought that was cute. Feel free to look at those, explore some other ones if you have any good sources of inspiration for that. And below I always have some resources for you guys. And lastly, of course, share on Discord and Behance when you're done with that keyword XD daily challenge. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I have 3 different artboards already kind of set up, so I'll walk you through what I'm doing here. So I'm creating a web page. Again, feel free to, if you want to do a mobile app or a tablet, you can do that as well. And I kind of want to walk users through 3 different steps in this website. So I'm going to keep it just super simple because we want them to kind of focus on the card on the left. So on this whole side, I've got just a background, nice purpley, pastel-y sort of shade, and the user can choose inside or outside of the card. So I'm only going to focus on the inside, and I'll zoom in a bit so you can see this a little better. So I have some blank spaces for what like each section of the card would be. So like the greeting would be dear so-and-so, the actual message itself, and then the last part would be the sincerely, salutations, whatever, and then who the card is from. And then on the right side, we're gonna add all of the area where you can like change all the tools and such. So the first page I'm gonna focus on covers, and then the second page is styling, and the third page will be messages. So this page will add like a few drop downs, and I'll show you how to do that. And if you want, you can update like each card page, each like left side of the web page while the user is working on the right side. So for instance, I mean, this page I've already completed, but this is the cover page. So this would be the outside of the card maybe. And these are just some cute little designs from Adobe stock. If you want to look some of those up, I think I just searched like vector patterns, something like that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, there's lots of great examples here, something like this, but of course feel free to use whatever you want for the card covers. And then, you know, some way to filter all of the styles, and then we need a CTA button, that call to action to go to the next screen. So the next screen, we will start on the styling. So we want them to be able to choose the font and maybe the color. So I will add that color. For the color, we'll just add some circles, and they can choose whatever color they want. I've already got some already laid out on the left side here. So let's use the repeat grid to add like 5 or so. And then I'll ungroup these so I can just add some more colors. Again, keeping it super pastel, just like kind of cutesy. Just seeing if anyone has any questions in the chat. All right, so let's group these again. And then in order to show that one is selected, I'll just add another circle and make the border this darker purple color using that eyedropper tool. And let's try to center this a little bit. It's a little bit off. There we go. Okay, so now it looks like, oh, like pink, or we should probably put it on purple. Purple is selected, that looks good. Now let's add our first drop down that we're gonna work on. So let's say pattern. Maybe they want to be able to choose a pattern. So maybe this pattern would be like on the inside, something along the border, you know, just some kind of like little extra decorative element. So what I want to do, I'm just going to make a rectangle for the first part of it. kind of smallish. And I will take, let's see, maybe this gray color. Is that the right color? Okay, so this gray color, I don't want it to stand too much out, just like kind of be at the same level of hierarchy as all of these other elements on the right side. So give it a little bit of a rounded corner, and I have just 2 icons. This is I always make a components artboard, and I usually make it pretty big, but I only have 2 icons today, so didn't need to make it that big. So I've got this little drop down arrow. This is just the pen tool. I'm going to add that as well. And then let's also add the actual text that will be inside here. So we need to think about the drop down in all the different states. So the first state would be the user hasn't interacted with it. There's nothing there yet. So it would say something like none until they select something. And because this is none, we want it to look a little bit grayed out, sort of. So let's make this at like 50% or so. And now we can just group all of these. And then you can make this a component. So yesterday we worked on components a bit with the hover. So hopefully you're kind of familiar, at least already. So now I'm going to show you how to add a bunch of different states in one component for the dropdown. So you have to make sure it's grouped together. And you'll notice over here you have your components panel on the assets panel. So right here, all of your components. I've clearly already made a few. And then over here on the right side in our tool panel, we've got the component label up here. We've got this plus button, and we just press plus. So now you'll notice, again, same as I mentioned yesterday, when you press component, we've got the green outline. It changes from blue to green, so we know it's a component. And also you know it's a master component. So this is the one that if we update the rest of our components, the rest of them will change, but you need to update the master in order for all of the other instances to be updated. So you'll notice you have this little diamond shape as well for master. So right now we're in the default state, and we want to add another state for the dropdown to like open or expand. So let's add a state, just pressing that. We'll say new state, and let's call this dropped down. Okay. So now we need to double click in and make sure the background is selected. So let's go ahead and drag this down because we want it to look like it's expanded a bit. And I'm going to flip the arrow. So just this little flip icon right here. So it looks like, okay, it's opened up. Something else has happened. And we can keep none there since nothing has been updated yet. But I do want to add, I'm not sure why that was grouped. I do want to add some more options down here. So maybe the pattern might be like floral pattern or paisley or like damask or striped or some other kind of pattern. So 4 is enough. Let's just pretend like that's it. Okay, we can bring the appearance up to 100 just so we can see it a little bit better. And this is actually a little bit big, so let's see. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Okay, that's better. What size is this? 21. And I'll make the spacing a bit bigger as well, just so it's a bit easier to see. Okay, so now we have our default state, which is closed. So when we click on that, it totally changes the appearance. And then we have our drop-down state. Now, some questions that I was getting in Discord was that when you click default and drop down after you changed something, it looked the exact same. So the reason that is because you weren't double clicking into the element. So you need to make sure you double click in, or however many times you need to click in to select a certain element within that component. So you need to be able to select like the text or the background. So you see I'm like double clicking right there in order to change something. Otherwise, you'll just update the whole, all of your states. Okay, so we've got the drop down, we've got the default. Let's add our final state, which would be that we've selected one of these. So let's add a new state, and we'll just say like selected or pressed or whatever you want to call it. So we can just delete this. We can change this to maybe paisley, and then we can flip the arrow back up and bring the background back up as well. Okay, so now we've got default, drop down, and selected. Super easy. Now to actually prototype this, oh, Rosie said, thanks Andrea for the debug. No need to select the right one. Yeah, so I hope that kind of cleared it up a little bit with the double clicking in. So let's go over to our prototype tab now. And we need to actually make a trigger in order to be able to flip through these different states. Otherwise, whenever we click it, nothing will happen. So let's go to our default state, and we have interaction below that. So we need to press plus to add an interaction. So we just want to tap it. We'll keep the action as auto animate. The destination, we need to say dropped down. That's our next destination. That's what we want to happen when we press it. So same thing with drop down. We need to add an interaction as well. So let's go to trigger. We can leave that as tapped. The action can be auto animated as well. And we just need to choose selected. We select one of those items. And then selected, we're good there. Okay, so let's go ahead and preview what this looks like. Oh, I need to put it on default. So make sure if you're previewing, you don't have one of the other states selected. It has to be on default to go back to the original. So we're at none. We can say drop down. We can select paisley, and then it goes back up again. So there you have it. That is how to make a drop down. So now we can just go ahead back into our design tab, and we can do the same for the next page. Let's add, okay, Cornelian asked, are the patterns on the first screen scrollable? I didn't make them scrollable, but that's the idea. If you wanted to, what you would do is just go over into prototype, and then you would make sure everything else is fixed. So fixed position when scrolling, except this one would not be fixed, and then you can scroll through those. So didn't get to that yet though, but that is the idea. So let's add some stuff on the last page. We can say this is for message. And maybe we want a few more drop-down items. So let's like copy this. And we'll say, maybe we want the occasion. And in order to make a totally new drop-down, like totally different and unrelated to our previous drop-down, we need to make sure this isn't the same component. So we need to ungroup it and then regroup it in order to make a new component. So now we can start making a new one. So this one is separate now from this one, and it will include a bunch of different text. So let's go ahead and we can add some more items. So like greeting, maybe main message. And can add like one more. This could be closing. So wouldn't that be nice? Just all you have to do when you're making a card is just select the drop down. This could be like birthday. This could be hello or dear. This could be the actual message. And then the closing would be like sincerely or from or whoever. And oh, also I forgot to add the CTA button. So let's just copy those. Next and next. Okay, so that's kind of ran out of time on those, but you would do the same exact thing with this drop down, or with the rest of these drop downs, as we did on this. So I'll preview one that I've already created over here to show you. So like, all right, let's say we choose a cover, we go through next, choose some colors, a pattern, go to next, and then on the message, we would have the same exact thing with the drop down. So the first state is just none. And then this is the second state, select something, And then this is the third state. You need 3 states. If you wanted to add like a hover, that would be 4 states. And then same with greeting. We have the first state is none. Second state is the drop down showing all of the, dear, hello, salutations. And then the third state is bringing it back up and you have your greeting selected. So that's it in a nutshell. Okay. Just seeing if you guys have any questions. Looking good. So I'm excited to see what you guys work on. Let me go ahead and Command S to save. And let's bring this into Behance. So make sure that when you are adding this to a Behance project, that you go over into settings and you go to Discoverability tab. Make sure you have that keyword XD Daily Challenge so that I can search for you guys and give you feedback if you would like it. I also always check Twitter, like I'm religious about checking Twitter, so if you want to share something on there, feel free to do that. Okay, so let's search on Behance for what you guys are creating. XD Daily Challenge. All right, and I'll search by projects and most recent. So let's see what we got. Gosh, what was yesterday's? Yesterday was the furniture store. I can't keep track of the days. So we got a perfume one. Let's look at this one. This is by Mary Lou. And she did a wooden stool. Looks nice. Okay, let's look at the preview or the prototype. So yesterday we were focusing on hover, so let's see what she did. I see when we hover over the logo, we've got the little line that comes over a bit. I like that. And we hover over each of the circles. And then we see our, oh, that's nice. I really like that. Preview over next and previous. Very nice. Great job. Like your layout. I would maybe put the price, pieces, and complexity over to this side. Just so we have kind of a nice flow throughout the page. Other than that, this looks great. Let's see, maybe one more. I'm going to check on Discord. I don't check on Discord during the stream enough. Okay. Oh, current challenge. All right, this one was from Lincalm. Very nice. Table and chair set. I love your photo. Like your color palette. Let's look at the prototype. So again, we are working on hover here. Ooh, very nice. Got step 5, step 1, and a little preview of whatever area. Very nice. Looks good. Okay, maybe one more. Let's look on Discord. See what we got. You guys did a lot of the perfume ones. Not so much of the one yesterday. Let's see. Oh, here's a furniture one. Oh, but it's not a prototype. That's okay. Furniture. So you did show the hover. That's nice. We've got all the colors. That was by Shirali. Very nice. Here's a furniture one. Okay. This one's by Brian. Oh, fancy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we've got a presentation. Wow. All right. So it's more like a blueprint. Ooh, look at that. So we hover. Ooh, there's lots of things going on. This is awesome. Change the color. Oh, that is so cool. You can change the color of the pillow. That is awesome. Okay. Oh man. I want to keep looking through this one, but I'm about out of time. This is so cool. All right, Brian, awesome job. All right, guys, I'll keep checking on Discord, so keep posting your work. You've been doing a great job. Tomorrow is our last day of this week's Daily Creative Challenge, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then in about 5 minutes, we've got our 2-hour live stream with N. Wang, and she will be designing something great in XD. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day, guys. Bye.